one of the key features of RiskDesk is the active risk metrics that it's able to provide you whilst you've got trades that are active and that have been logged. You can see this at the top in what we call the risk pill. If you're on a mobile device, you can put your finger on the current data item, so in this example, day delta, and slide it across to see the other values that you want to see. If you have a preferred value, you can leave it there. Alternatively, you can press the down arrow and that'll expose the carousel of all the risk metrics. You can see also that in this example, the Open P&L has been hidden, and that's a result of this privacy filter that you can turn on easily, which is useful if you want to share some of this content on social media sources. Let's run through some of the different metrics and what they mean. There is more detail in the user guide, and these metrics have largely been hugely inspired by the work from the prime trading community. Alex and the experienced traders there. An excellent community of terrific traders who've heavily influenced the design of this underlying tool, RiskDesk. So, the risk metrics then. So, the first is NER. I call this net exposure risk, some call it new exposure risk. Ultimately, it is the percentage of your account that is currently at risk that hasn't been financed by your banked profits. So, if your NER is 0, then that means that your open risk is fully covered by the realised gains that you've taken already. NEP, that stands for net or new, depending on preference, exposure profit. So that is the unrealised profit of your risk-bearing trades. It tells you whether your new exposure is working. The delta is simply the difference between the two. OER is your open exposure risk, often just called HEAT. That is your gross total risk based on your current active stops. If you moved all your stops to break even, your OER would drop to 0. Secured, that's the amount of banked profit that exceeds your principal risk. If it's positive, you cannot lose principal capital even if all your stops are hit. Open P&L will show you a monetary value if you have the privacy mode switched off. And that is the monetary value of the current trades that are open, that are in profit or loss. And then you've also got the OEP. That is, as a percentage, the current EC gain you get from closing all of your trades, including the partials you've already taken. You can also see the bar beneath, which shows you the percentage of your master account that is currently invested. And then you've got a refresh prices button there, which will, if you refresh, will put in the latest prices and then refresh these metrics. You don't need to do that. RiskDesk updates itself frequently automatically, but if you want to refresh more frequently, just tap refresh prices. If you turn sideways or into landscape view on a mobile device, you'll see all of those metrics populate the screen at once, so you don't need to use the pill carousel. On a desktop or tablet device, you'll see this view where all the metrics are visible at once. Thanks for listening.